Tonight's epic Fox Valley Association girls basketball showdown between the 5th-ranked Hortonville Polar Bears and the visiting top-ranked Kimberly Papermakers. Good evening. I'm Ricardo Arguello, part of the USA Today Network Wisconsin digital live stream team, hanging out as always with Brett Christopherson and bringing you those high-definition shots. Jim Rosandick, again, all part of USA Today Network Wisconsin. Brett, boy, oh boy, we've been talking about this game for a while because we couldn't wait for this matchup. It's finally here. It's a Tuesday night. It's getting a little warmer outside, Brett, but it is heating up in here because this is number 5 against number 1, a showdown of FVA powers here with Kimberly and Hortonville.
Not only FVA powers, but state powers, right?
Powers.
And two teams that have designs on getting to the Resch Center almost next month. We're almost to February, but I'm looking forward to this. We saw these two teams play back in December as part of a doubleheader, Kimberly winning that one. But I think times have changed, right? You look at A.C. Clothier, the head coach at Hortonville, kind of a new cast of characters other than, of course, the standout Rainey Wilson, but lost some really key players to graduation, trying to figure things out, put the puzzle together, get rotation set, and now they're kind of humming along. They had a tough loss the other night against Homestead, but it was a really close game. Homestead, a top 10 team as well. And then on the other side, we were without Kate McGinnis, Bentley Trout, and now those two are back, and a really good team becomes almost a machine right now, the way the Papermakers are just rolling through the schedule. It was a deep team back then. Then you add the standouts. And of course, Kate McGinnis was
embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, one of the top seniors in the state of Wisconsin, without a doubt. Now she's back, and as I said, Bentley Trout, and all of a sudden the depth even becomes deeper. And it's going to be fun to see how these two teams have progressed since we saw them back in mid-December. It's going to be a lot of fun. Game of the night in the state on the girls' side. It's got to be, right, Ricardo, without a doubt.
Has to be. We're excited, and we're excited. We'll talk about this as the live stream goes on. But Kimberly was our guest last Wednesday on the Varsity Roundtable. We'll talk a little bit about what the girls had to say. Great show with those girls, and hopefully we'll get to have Hortonville on soon for the show as well. Well, let's get to know these teams in a little bit. I'll start with some Hortonville notes. Brett will follow with Kimberly. Again, these notes put together every week by Brett.
When are you going to start doing some game notes?
No, I like you doing it. You're very good at it. Let's not break that nice streak, Brett. But Hortonville coming in 12-3 overall, 10-1 Fox Valley Association, ranked 5th in Division I in this week's SwissSports.net State Coaches Poll. Coming off, this just happened this past Saturday, 72-69 loss to 8th-ranked Homestead. Non-conference matchup. That was between the pair of state powers and Mequon. So we know Hortonville's schedule is very, very good, Brett. Rainey Wilson, their outstanding senior guard, led all scorers with 31 points. 7 of 13 shooting, grabbed 3 of 6 from three-point range. Also 14 of 16 from the free throw line. She also grabbed 10 rebounds. Leah Hurley, did I say that right?
I believe so.
Added 14 points, 7 boards, 5 steals, 3 rebounds for the Polar Bears. 4 Homestead players scored in double figures, with UW-Milwaukee commit Madison Fitzgibbon leading the way with 20 points. Hortonville did out-rebound the Highlanders 28-24. He also assisted on 13 of its 20 made field goals. Highlanders, though, boy, they were hot. Shot 56% overall. That's compared to 38% for the Polar Bears. And on the season, Wilson is the team's top scorer at 27.1 points a game. That leads the FBA. She's shooting 56% overall. 39% from beyond the arc, 86% from the free throw line. Now, Cardin Pepler, who is out, I see her in the boot over there. She's next at 14.8 points. She's shooting 54% overall and 43% from distance. Julian Martin and Hurley are averaging 8.5 and 8.1 points, respectively. Hurley leads the way in three-pointers with 34. Wilson, she's right behind at 31. Wilson and Pepler tops in rebounding at 5.2 and 4.2 per game, respectively. And Wilson, she's also averaging 4 assists a game. She leads the team in that category. That's also tops in the FBA. As a team, Hortonville, boy, they shoot really well. Shooting just under 50%, 48% to be exact overall. From three-point range, they're at 38%. They're shooting 71% from the free throw line. Opponents shooting 42% overall, 32% from three-point range. And Hortonville's also slightly out-rebounding its opponents. Boy, Brady, it doesn't get any slimmer than that. 26.2 to 26.1.
1/10, right?
Yes, and they're averaging 15 steals a game. Hortonville's averaging 75.2 points a game. allowing 53.3. And their next game is at Fond du Lac on Friday, in the FVA matchup tip-off scheduled for 6 o'clock. Brett, Kimberly, what can you tell me about them?
Yeah, Ricardo, Kimberly 14-0 overall, 11-0 in the Fox Valley Association. The undefeated Papermakers are ranked first in Division I in this week's WisSports.net State Coaches Poll, and they're coming off a 75-38 victory over Neenah on Friday. Fox Valley Association matchup over at Kimberly. 4 players scored in double figures for Kimberly, with Kate McGinnis leading the way with 15 points. She finished with 6 rebounds and 3 assists, knocked down 3 threes. Ava Van Vonderen was next with 12 points. She added 7 rebounds. Haley Dulis chipped in with 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Her night included 4 rebounds. And don't forget about Kennedy Eben. She wound up with 10 points on a perfect 3 of 3 showing that also included 3 3-pointers. She also made, she also made all 3 of her free throw attempts, I should say, for Kennedy Eben, 10 points. 3 of 3 on the night. The Papermakers out-rebounded the Rockets 43-26, Ricardo, and hit 8 3-pointers compared to 3 for Neenah. That's going to be something that is worth watching tonight. Kimberly has owned the glass all season long. They've got the size, the length, and that's going to be a big key for Hortonville if they want to pull off this victory tonight, to box out and get those rebounds. Kimberly's defense in that game forced 17 turnovers and limited Neenah, Ricardo, to 25% shooting. Fantastic defense. On the season, McGinnis is Kimberly's leading scorer at 15.1 points per game. Good to see her back in the lineup. She's shooting 50% overall, 47% from three-point range, and a perfect 6 of 6 so far from the free throw line. Reagan Krieger is next at 12.9 points. She's shooting 60% overall and 78% from the line. Van Vonderen is also averaging double figures at 12.5 points. She's shooting 45% overall, 38% from distance, and 88% from the stripe. Dulis is 4th at 10.9 points. She's shooting 44% overall, 33% from beyond the arc. And check this out, Ricardo, for Haley Dulis. 97% from the line. She's 35 of 37 from the stripe.
I know that makes you happy, Brett.
I love it.
You love it.
Good free throw shooting. That's excellent free throw shooting. That's one of my favorite things to see. Van Vonderen and Krieger lead the way in rebounding at 6.9 and 6.4 per game, respectively. And McGinnis and Urban are both averaging an even 3 assists per game to lead the way in that category. As a team, Kimberly is shooting 47% overall, 36% from three-point range, 81% from the line. Opponents, they're shooting 31% overall and 23% from three-point range. And check this out, Ricardo. The Papermakers also out-rebounding their opponents. This is what I'm talking about. 32.8 to 19.4 per game. Sizable advantage on the glass. Papermakers are also averaging 10.9 steals. And then as we look at the scoreboard, Kimberly is averaging 68.5 points per game and allowing just 38.2. And up next for the Papermakers, they're also back in action on Friday. They're at Appleton West. FVA matchup tip-off in that game scheduled for 6 p.m. Thanks to our sponsors, guys, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Samsung Galaxy S25 series is AI evolved and life simplified at Cellcom. New lines get Samsung Galaxy S25 on them. Visit Cellcom.com for details. And get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Custom embroidery, screen printing, and graphic design. Cooney's does it all. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com.
All right, we're getting ready for the big matchup. Kimberly, Hortonville, battle of number 1 versus number 5.
Yeah, I want to thank Athletic Director here at Hortonville, Dan Maliran, again for making sure we're good to go. Matt Schmidt, the IT guru. We were here Friday night as well. We were up in the dance room on Friday night, but they have softball practice up there. They got the batting cages down. So we're actually, we're with the people, Ricardo. We're not walled off.
Fine. And I don't mind this once in a while, Brett being out here, among the fans. It's all good.
Yeah, it is all good. And thanks for Dan for letting us do it tonight. Obviously, again, a huge game, number 1 versus number 5. And thanks for Matt Schmidt for setting us up as well, running some IT or some Ethernet cable and some power cords. Remember, I told you on Friday when we were here for the boys game, Hortonville Appleton North, Matt Schmidt's the father of Eli Schmidt.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love the pictures that they have up on the scoreboard. You know, just
Like
a
that
polar bear.
bear.
Polar bear doing a little, crossover.
Yeah, playing little hoops.
But the guy in the back losing all the papers, I don't know what that's all about there.
But I should say Eli Schmidt, he was on that NINA championship team from a few years ago, a very key contributor to that 29-1 state title Rockets championship team. So I always enjoy trips to Hortonville. And one of my favorite gyms. Love this setting, right? Good atmosphere, good energy. You can feel it. And ready for this one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hortonville Fieldhouse for tonight's exciting Fox Family Association matchup featuring the Kimberly Papermakers against your Hortonville Polar Bears.
We'll meet the starting fives here momentarily for both squads. First, though, Ricardo, they're going to have the presentation of the colors and then the national anthem. And then we'll get this game started.
Education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation that both students and adults display positive and respectful behavior. If anyone's disruptive conduct detracts from others' enjoyment of the game, such as foul language or yelling excessively at sports officials, please notify a law enforcement official on site. Your cooperation in maintaining the high ideals of sportsmanship for the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance is expected and greatly appreciated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand as the Hortonville American Legion Post 55 and Auxiliary proudly present our nation's flag, a powerful symbol of the freedom fought for by so many heroes. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. Veterans, salute, and civilians, place your hand over your heart. Please remain standing until the flags are retired. Thank you. Now let's join the Hortonville Pep Band in honoring America and those who protect our freedoms with the performance of our national anthem. Thank you, Hortonville High School Pep Band. Great job. Fans, the Hortonville American Legion has dedicated over 100 years to presenting our nation's colors. Middle East veterans, please consider joining your local American Legion comrades today. Remember, you are not alone. Thank you, American Legion.
All right, back here Nice presentation of colors in the national anthem here at Hortonville. Getting ready for the starting lineups. Of course, Kimberly will be first as they're the visiting team. Brett, they always turn off the lights here, like doing a little extra special.
Good atmosphere, as I said, right? It's like a playoff game tonight. Talk about the printed out the sectionals.
Oh, thank you for that.
I just was kind of curious since we're not too far away. I said to Rosie here as we were set up, Saturday's February already, and that's really the stretch run. We'll get seedings, brackets, all that good stuff here in the coming weeks, but kind of wanted to compare sectionals, and as we talked about in different web streams, I can't even remember if we talked about it on Varsity Roundtable, but Kimberly's sectional in particular is a murderer's row. Some of the top teams in the state, many of the top teams in the state in that sectional.
At guard, a 5'6" junior, number 3, Emily Irvin.
So as we get the starting lineups here they are for the Papermakers.
Senior, number 12.
At one guard, a 5'6" junior, Emily Urban. At the other guard, a 5'9" senior, that's Kate McGinnis. Another guard, 5'7" sophomore, Kennedy Eben. At another guard, a 6'1" sophomore, Ava Van Vonderen. And rounding out the top 5 is a 6'1" forward, Reagan Krieger.
Head coach for Kimberly.
Before you do the starting 5 for Hortonville, we have a question on the chat. When are the boys playing? Actually, the boys played first tonight. And Kimberly with an impressive 88-78 victory over the Polar Bears. Polar Bears kind of fighting to stay in that Fox Valley Association race. But Kimberly coming out and look good tonight. So the Papermakers boys with the victory tonight, 88-78.
So here we go, starting a lineup for Hortonville, Brett. 5'10" senior guard, Rainey Wilson. 5'10" senior combo guard, Leah Harrelly. And also at guard, 5'4" sophomore, Maddie Springer. Also at kind of a swing player is Julian Martin. She's a 5'9" junior. And I believe that's number 22, Paige Clausen, 5'6" guard. Of course, we mentioned before, Brett, Cardin Pepler not playing.
Don't think that's going to be is it a long term? I don't believe it is. Yep.
We talked to Rainey last week, and she said she'd be back.
Okay.
So that's what we're expecting. By the way, I liked Hortonville. They're still, it's good to see that the 96 Chicago Bulls are still in reverence, Brett. Still using the opening, who does that? Alan Parsons project?
Exactly right, Ricardo.
Very nice to see.
All right, Kimberly winning the toss. And we are underway.
Krieger up, no good. And they're saying that the rebound from Springer was out of bounds, so possession stays with Kimberly. Thank you all for joining us tonight here at Hortonville. The Ville, they call it, Brett.
They call it the Ville.
Oh, that's a travel.
Moved your pivot foot just a touch.
You know, we were talking about this when they were on the round table, Brett, but Krieger has some really nice shoes. He has those, and they kind of stick out. So if you're going to travel with wearing those kind of bright shoes,
the
officials are going to see it.
They're going to catch it. There we go. We're going to get our first bucket of the night. Laying off the turnover. Yeah, it's Urban. As Ricardo composes himself. You okay over there? I don't think he is. He's all right, folks. Just went down the wrong pipe. There's Wilson. Ooh, some contact there going up against Krieger, but Krieger holding her own.
Oh, my goodness. That did go down the wrong pipe.
2-0 Kimberly. Early lead in our Cellcom varsity game of the week. Now with Clubhouse Live being done, guys, we're probably going to try to do 2 games a week if we can. Woo. Got another one coming up on Saturday. There's a steal that's just taken out of the hands there by Julian Martin. See number 14 for Kennedy Eben. The tough task of guarding Rainey Wilson, but there's a bucket for Springer.
Brett, Kimberly already has 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a bit of a surprise. Oh, look at
wow.
Krieger.
Just, yeah, good screen to just kind of free her up. And right into the cup for Krieger, her first bucket of the night.
You know, she has a pretty quick step there, Brett.
Yeah, she does. One of the top post players around, without a doubt. Whoa. I don't think Rainey Wilson likes that call.
She's dunking a little bit to their official, just saying, you know, getting some clarification. I will say also that for Kimberly, Brett, you look at number 34, Eva Van Vonderen. I like it. She wears the different shoes. You see that?
2 different colors?
Oh, yeah.
Number 1, Kimberly. Number 5, Hortonville, going to spot up for 3. How about that? Urban with 5 points right out of the chute. And a quick 5-point lead for the Papermakers. Urban with 5, and of course Krieger with the other bucket. Wilson
gets a lot of attention.
A lot of attention is right, Ricardo. They're going to double her up as much as they can. Of course, congratulations to Rainey Wilson. We were here Friday night when she got her 2,000th career point on a triple from the right wing, kind of in the waning moments of that game against Appleton North. Not too many players in state history reach that 2,000-point mark.
Brett, you were Johnny on the spot. You're able to get that video. Check it out. It's on postcrescent.com. You look under sports and the varsity tab.
Yeah, just a raw video. It wasn't from a live stream. We were setting up for the boys game. Blocked by McGinnis. 3 from the corner. No good. That was Leah Hurley with the shot attempt from the corner.
That was 3 of her 43 points that night.
Yeah, that tied a career high.
Well, she had 43 the game before.
Yeah.
Oshkosh West,
I think that's a single-game school record as well. But that gave her an even 2,000 points, and then she comes into tonight with an additional 31 that she scored against Homestead, right? So 2,031. Remember Shea Frederick?
Sure.
She was the previous school record holder with 1,450 points, 2018 graduate here, standout. But Rainey Wilson, the all-time leading scorer, of course, here at Hortonville. But congratulations to Rainey. And Ricardo, you got her on for a halftime interview of the boys' game when we were streaming that on Friday night.
Great.
That was great. McGinnis going to let it fly. Good. Wow. Red hot are the Papermakers now, 2 triples, and just like that, an 8-point lead for the Papermakers.
Bretton Wilson's also one of the 5 finalists for the
Miss Basketball.
Miss Basketball.
Yep, saw that too.
Right now, Hortonville needing to get off the schneid here. They're down 8 points already.
Kennedy Eben, first personal, second team. Mallory Warner, in for the Polar Bears.
Wilson going to inbound it. Yeah, Hortonville's got to get something going here. Down 8. Don't want to get down too much larger to this great Kimberly squad. Martin going to take it, and good take. Fearless going through the lane, Ricardo.
I'll put together a list of like underrated and up-and-coming players, and Julian Martin is on that list, Brett.
Ooh.
They're calling Martin for the foul. Those are players, by the way, that weren't mentioned as top returning players on a piece I did before the season started. On that, for Hortonville, I had Cardin Pepler and Rainey Wilson.
I'm not sure what happened to our clock, but looks like the camera went out, Rosie. Anyway, there's 13:30 to go in the opening half. We'll get that clock back on the screen here in a little bit, but Plenty of time here in this opening half. Oh, look at that spin move from Krieger. And she's got 4.
Boy, she's so good.
They all are. I mean, I don't know who you key in on to kind of slow down. There's a steal by Urban. Well, that might have been, was that Drought? I think that was number 2, Drought with the steal. My mistake. Sorry about that. Yeah. Bentley Drought, one of our guests last week on the round table.
There's Doulis.
Tough take. Size, length, athleticism, shooters, really the whole package for Kimberly.
And they got another big one coming up on Saturday, Brett.
Yeah, we're going to be there. Kimberly's hosting Pewaukee, 3rd-ranked Pewaukee. And we'll be at that one as well.
Van Vonderen on the foul there on Wilson. But right now, Kimberly in control, 12-4. 12:23 left in the first period. We got that clock fixed.
We do.
Great. There's Julian Martin inside in the paint.
Yeah, good defense though by Krieger. Really, did you see just held her feet straight up in the air. Didn't budge after that. Great defensive position. Martin, though, in attack mode so far here in the early stages. Whoa, wrestling loose ball. There's a good kick out. 3, good, boy. Doulis now. 3 different players with 3-pointers and an 11-point lead for Kimberly's. We look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard.
Brad, Hortonville worked so hard to try to prevent that shot, and they still ended up giving up a 3-pointer.
Martin going to let it fly. And Drought comes down with it. A chance to build on this 11-point lead. Top-ranked team in the state. Looking strong so far here at Hortonville. Good defense, though. That's number 11, Maddie Springer, forcing the steal. Is it going back, though?
Yep. Brett, I have both teams with 4 turnovers each. But, you mentioned it before the game about the return of both McGinnis and Drought. Drought is, quick as a hiccup there, Brett. She brings a lot of speed to that team of a lot of great athletes already.
Well, you call it an embarrassment of riches. I mean, it's impressive, no doubt about it. And so far, so good. A perfect slate for the Papermakers. Good ball movement and another 3-pointer. This time it's Claudia Asman coming off the bench. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different players already with 3-pointers here for the Papermakers, up 14. There's a good cut to the rim. Wilson, though, knocked away. Didn't see who got her hand. That might have been number 14. Was that Kennedy Eben who came in and knocked it away? Oh, good find inside. Eben, left hand, just too strong.
Nice pass inside, Brett.
But double team on that block. Martin again. Oh, banks it in. She'll take it. And a timeout coming. She's got 5.
Boy, they needed that 3-pointer in the worst way, didn't they?
They sure did. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for AC Clothier. Gives me a chance. You mentioned that Miss Basketball, Ricardo, Rainey Wilson, Hortonville standout, one of 5 finals. That was announced today, I think, earlier today by the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association. Of course, Rainey Wilson going to play at the University of Maryland. And she's joined as finalists by J.J. Barnes of the Prairie School. She's going to go to Marquette. McKenna Christian of Hartford, who's going to Minnesota. Christina Ouimet of Lakeland.
She's a very good player.
Going to UW Green Bay. And then Amy Terrian of Pewaukee, who's going to go to Michigan State. Of course, Nina Zali-Zabel now currently playing for 6th-ranked UConn. She won it last year. I looked up other Fox Valley or Northeast Wisconsin players who have won that award. Remember Haley Oskey of Seymour back in 2018.
Pepler. Didn't Pepler win it?
Pepler, yep. Adrian Ritchie of De Pere, Meredith Onsen of Oshkosh West, and Lori Gorlitz of Oshkosh North. And
Kate McGinnis's mom.
Yes. So we'll see. If Hortonville can get on a little bit of a run after that three-pointer by Martin. Martin out with 5.
By the way, Haley Oski is now coaching the Seymour girls basketball team.
Is she the head?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Remember, brother Dakota was with that team with Sandy Cohen. They're going to go offensive foul.
Again, both Kimberly and Hortonville have 5 turnovers each. That's a little odd. We're just under 10 minutes left in the first half, Brett. So some really spirited play, but also a bit disjointed.
Last time these two teams played, December 13th over at Kimberly. Kimberly winning that one, 63-46. A game we streamed. We'll plug ourselves, right? Reagan Krieger, big night that night, 27.6 rebounds. Duelist, she had 10 points in a winning cause. Rainey Wilson, though, led the Polar Bears with 20 points and 7 rebounds. And in that game, though, Kimberly out-rebounded Hortonville's 36-23. So, again, something to watch. The glass. And that's just something Kimberly's been doing. But look at their size out there, right? No wonder why they hold teams to one shot defensively. And then offensively, they're probably getting a lot of second-chance points. Would love to know that stat. Through their offensive rebounds.
Nearing the 9-minute mark here in the first half. 18-7 lead for Kimberly. Krieger, nice.
Nice little back cut along that baseline. Duelist just couldn't get it to fall.
Number 12, Kate McGinnis in for Kimberly. And number 34, Ava Van Hundred in for Kimberly. Number 10, Leah Hurley in for the Polar Bears.
Did they call a foul there?
I'm looking. I didn't see one. Well, there's 5 fouls for Kimberly, though.
Did our scoreboard.
Yeah, I think so because Duelist has 2. Did you have that?
No, there's where I'm missing one. Three-pointer again from the corner. That was a good look for number 21. That was Callie Pomrenning, the freshman.
Oh, just a little too hard.
There's a kick out to Van Vondren. But look at that rebound again, Ricardo. What I'm talking about. That one just a point-blank miss, but a great box out by Krieger, and those are second-chance points that Kimberly normally
converts on.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that defense from Eben. She's their defensive stopper. It's her
Wow,
big matchup
Martin.
with Wilson, but Martin, Brett.
Yeah, they're really trying to do really doing a good job right now of keeping Rainey from even getting a touch. But how about Julian Martin, 8 points, including a pair of threes. Now Kimberly a chance to cut into this deficit even more. A little bit of a run for the Papermakers.
Hortonville.
Or Hortonville, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, I'm watching this defense on Wilson. Look at her go up.
Oh, good strong move. How about that take, though? And now we're going to get a full timeout for the Papermakers. What's the run now for Hortonville, Ricardo?
Yeah, well, at one time it was 18-4, Brett, so it's an 8-0 run. 8-0 run.
There's a good look at Dave Lepisto in his 3rd season in charge of the Papermakers. You knew you weren't going to keep Rainey Wilson down for long, right? This is attack mode. But what a job Dave has done here at Kimberly.
Yeah, taking over for Cullen, right?
Yeah, an assistant for 9 seasons under longtime Papermakers head coach Troy Cullen, who is here watching his son play for on the boys' side. Trying to get the name escapes me. His son's name. What? Aaron Cullen, of course. Good football player too, wide receiver.
Yes.
But Lepisto right now he enters tonight's action 53-16 overall, 37-10 in the Fox Valley Association. So Troy Cullen hands the baton to his longtime assistant, and they don't miss a beat. Also want to congratulate Kimberly's Kate McGinnis. She reached the 1,000-point mark earlier this season for her career. That was during a 61-41 victory at Oak Creek, and that was on December 28th. She had 14 points in the win, comes into tonight's action with 1,093 career points. Mentioned Rainey Wilson with 2,000, and Rowan Klesman at Neenah. She just got her 1,000 point as well. And speaking of McGinnis trying to let one fly, rims out.
Speaking of McGinnis and Rainey Wilson, both parts of our Fab Five.
Oh, how about that move? Just, boy, lid on the rim right now for the Papermakers. Pretty good looks, just can't get him to fall. Tough move. Leah Hurley, she'll take that. Just couldn't get that one to drop. Good post up by Krieger. Double team, reverse pivot now. Oh, little hook shot, good. Good patience by Krieger, Ricardo.
Talented. Man, oh man, where's she going again?
I believe it's Duluth. And a good hit by Wilson. Shooter's
I really
touch.
think she's a D1 player, to be quite honest.
I agree, Ricardo.
She has size, but she's not. She has size and length, but she moves like a guard. And she's powerful. So she really is kind of a combination of a really good forward and a quick guard.
Well,
look at her handle the rock here,
yeah.
Brett.
And again, little up and under move, and you just can't stop that. You can't stop that. Just good fundamental basketball right there by Reagan Krieger now, and she's already up to 8 points.
Telling me she can't play D1. I think she can.
Well, she is committed to Duluth, but she did have a D1 offer from Southern Illinois Edwardsville.
Okay.
Also, she had D2 offers from Michigan Tech, Minnesota State, Roosevelt, St. Cloud State, Truman State, and Winona State. But I'm with you. I'm sure Duluth is very happy to get her.
Wilson did a good job of getting that rebound and keeping this possession alive.
Yeah, with 5:20 to go, clock running, really imperative for Hortonville, right, to keep themselves in striking distance, down 8. What was the largest lead? 13, 14?
14.
14 points. So they've done a good job to make it a 2-possession or 3-possession game so far. Down 8. There's a turnover. You can't have that. But kind of stay in this, unless you can get a little bit of a run here in these last 5 minutes, but sort of stay in this range. And I think A.C. Clothier, the head coach at Hortonville, will take that. McGinnis, though, coming off that screen, she pops it, and that's good. And another 3.
Boy, that shot looks sweet, Brett.
Ricardo, 5 different players with 3-pointers now for the Papermakers. Who do you stop? Who do you focus in on? Urban, McGinnis, Asman, Doulis.
I'll tell you right now, one of the players of the game is Eben on Rainey Wilson. Look how much effort she puts into covering her as Wilson pops for 3. No good. Possession remains with Hortonville. Boy, Wilson's really working hard for her points.
I think that's actually McGinnis' second 3, right? She got 2 triples, 6 points.
I'll look here.
Yeah, I believe so. 4 different players with 3-pointers still. Urban, McGinnis, Asman, and Doulis. Good shooting, though, from distance for the Papermakers. How about the other night when we were here for that boys game? Appleton North hitting 14 threes. And that win over the Polar Bears. And that's stolen. Just Bentley Drought grabbing it. Good ball movement. Oh, look at that move. Jeez. Just backs her way and just one more step and goes up with the left hand. 10 points now for Krieger.
She's so tough. What a mismatch she brings.
And look at this, back up to a 13-point lead, and now Krieger reading it with the steal. She's going to try to take it all the way, overlays it, but Drought with the rebound. Deep 3 for Van Vonderen, knocks it down. There's the 5th player with a 3-pointer, and there's a big run for the Papermakers, largest lead of the night at 16. Timeout for the Polar Bears, 30 seconds.
Yeah, Brett, Hortonville had worked it back to a 6-point deficit at 20-14 on a Wilson basket, but then, since then, 10-0 run here by Kimberly.
And quick. How about like that back in, that Krieger got entry pass to the post from the corner from McGinnis. the ball was barely in the corner. It was just fast, popping the passes. Everybody's moving. Really a well-oiled machine right now for Kimberly. No hesitation to just throw it inside. And you mentioned Krieger with her footwork, but her positioning in the post to allow for such a great big target for that entry pass. I mean, it's just really fundamentally sound post play from Krieger, the 6'1" senior forward. The 2-3 zone now for the Papermakers. Skip it over to Martin, who's been hot. It's a little too strong on that attempt. McGinnis coming down the court quickly. 2:45 to play. Working off that screen by Krieger. Now McGinnis with it. Looking into Krieger again. Outside, near the corner. Oh, rims out.
Boy, that looked good, though.
Yeah, Kendall Brocktrup, a 5'11" sophomore. Thought that was going to go down. See how Hortonville attacks his zone. You can see trying to use Wilson now. Thought maybe she'd let it go. Instead, good pass to the corner. Just couldn't get it to fall. That's a good look. They'll take that every time. That was Mallory Werner, sophomore. Krieger going to let it fly from distance, and they look pretty good off her hand.
Showing her range a little bit there. Nearing the 1-minute 30-second mark here in the second half. Look out. Turnover for Hortonville. That's their 9th.
Number 24, Morgan Ricardo for the Polar Bears.
16-point lead for the Papermakers. A minute and 29 to go as we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Thanks to everybody watching tonight on this Tuesday. First Tuesday game for us. Got another big one coming up on Saturday afternoon. And we're going to watch these Papermakers again as McGinnis misses on that 3. They're going to take on third-ranked Pewaukee. 3:15 is when we'll go live. It's going to be a big one.
Rare afternoon game for us, huh?
Oh, rare Saturday game, too.
Yeah.
We'll do some Saturday games come playoff time. Except you'll be doing some wrestling stuff by that point.
I'll be wrestling boy.
Maybe we can lure, well, Mike Sherry will be with you, too, won't he?
Well, it depends on which ones we'll be covering, but yeah.
Look, a triple teamed is Krieger, but great ball movement to get it out of the block and loose ball. 40 seconds to go. Here come the Polar Bears. Ooh, deep 3 from the top. Good, though.
They needed that.
Leah Hurley with a triple. Big time 3 for Leah. And you're right, Ricardo. Now let's see what the Papermakers want to do. They're going to hold for one final shot. I think that's the game plan. 15 seconds to go, up 13. Always, knocked away by Wilson. Oh, Wilson.
Oh, okay?
She all right? Well, she came down hard.
Oh, that's off of Julian Martin, and they were picked up by McGinnis now.
At halftime, it's the Kimberly Papermakers.
I'm glad Wilson's all right.
Yeah,
she took
that
a
could have been
very big spill there.
Yep.
All right, we'll regroup here. Both teams will head to their respective locker rooms. As we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Halftime at Hortonville. Kimberly on top 30-17 in this game of top 5 ranked teams. Remember, Kimberly number 1, Hortonville number 5. We'll talk more about about this game. We're going to get Ricardo's thoughts and, of course, a lot of good stuff coming up digitally on USA Today Network Wisconsin after these short messages.
For a limited time at Cellcom, every phone is on sale or free for new and existing customers. Because keeping you at the center of everything we do includes giving you the freedom of choice. Stop in or shop online at Cellcom.com.
Promote your business, unite your team, or just get your name out there with help from the professionals at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your business or organization. We can put your logo, name, or anything else you want on any article of clothing. From embroidery and screen printing to graphic design and heat press services, we've got you covered. Call today.
Welcome back to Hortonville High School. Halftime here in our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream. Kimberly on top 30-17 as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Samsung Galaxy S25 series is AI evolved and life simplified at Cellcom. New lines get Samsung Galaxy S25 on them. Visit Cellcom.com for details. And Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. All right, I'm Brett Christopherson. He's Ricardo Arguello, Jim Rosandick manning the high definition cameras. We're with USA Today Network Wisconsin. And the Post Crescent. Ricardo, your halftime thoughts in this matchup between state powers in Division I.
Yeah, now see, you've seen Kimberly more recently than I have. Because I don't think I've seen them since that first couple games of the year, right? And boy, they are impressive. They don't have any weaknesses.
Doesn't seem to be, does it?
Their depth is just unbelievable for a high school team, Brett. You know, there are a lot of girls on that bench that could start for other teams in the FBA. I'll tell you that right now. But here's the I think the more incredible thing is that they don't make a whole lot of mistakes, number one, and number two, they keep their intensity at a very high level throughout. You don't see any kind of lapses at all in intensity. That's a tough combination, especially when they have some elite players. Because to see Hortonville, a very good team, Brett, struggle as they kind of do against Kimberly is a little alarming. Because I think you and I both agree that a lot of it because of the sectional they play in, but I foresee Hortonville popping through to the state tournament. And they play in a different sectional than Kimberly does. So I think I'm more impressed so much with Kimberly. I think it's more about what they're doing, more so about than what Hortonville's doing. Because I wouldn't say Hortonville's playing particularly poor. It's just Kimberly's really playing well.
Again, offensive, a bunch. I don't know what the rebounding total is right now, but Kimberly.
Well, I can tell you, but again, mine are just very unofficial.
Doing a good job on the glass, but you're right. Keep in mind, Cardin Pepler out right now too.
Right.
That's a key component missing for Hortonville as well. She's in a walking boot, and she should be back sooner rather than later, so that'll be a nice boost for Hortonville. But what I like about Kimberly, they play both sides ultra high level, right? They're not just, we're going to play some offense and maybe casually play defense. They seem to get after it and seem to enjoy playing defense as much as they do sharing the ball and playing offense. And that when you have that kind of a combination along with the depth and the talent, a team that loves to play each other and loves to play on both sides of the floor, that's tough to beat, right? Sometimes you'll see a team that's really offensive-minded and they're defense okay. And maybe conversely, a team that struggles offensively but keep themselves in the game defensively, they're high level, very, very high level on both ends right now.
And I think, I want to highlight a player who doesn't really show up in the box score too much, and that's Kennedy Evan. Her defensive prowess, she drew the assignment of Rainey Wilson, and she's their defensive stopper. I'm talking about Kennedy Eben, and I don't think enough credit goes to her because, that's a role, Brett, that doesn't come with a lot of headlines. Being a defensive stopper, you're going to do a lot of the dirty work for little acclaim.
Yeah.
But she accepts that role and she plays it better than anyone I've seen so far on the court.
They all seem to buy into their roles, and they share the ball so well with each other. I don't think any of them care who is scoring the baskets, right? And we'll see, though. 13-point lead at halftime. Hortonville has some serious firepower led by Randy Wilson, so a few baskets here, some turnovers, and all of a sudden the Polar Bears right back within it, maybe a two-possession game. We'll see how it all plays out. Hey, I want a quick run through the first half scoring for the Polar Bears. Wilson with 4, Hurley with 3, Springer with 2, and Martin with 8. For the Papermakers, I have Urban with 5, McGinnis with 6, Asman with 3, Dulis with 3, Van Vonderen 3, Krieger with 10 points to lead all scorers here so far tonight. Varsity Roundtable, that's tomorrow night.
Yes, and I have not heard back from Gibbons in terms of specific players, but we are welcoming the Freedom Boys basketball team on the show.
Ranked second in the state, D3.
Second in the state. Can't wait to talk to them. And they have a very busy – Brett, I know it's a lot of these teams that I'm trying to get them on the show. They have Tuesday and Friday games. So I'm really thankful for them to kind of popping in on a Wednesday and talking to us there on our little show. But we don't know exactly who's going to be on, but – I'm sure you're going to see probably Drew Quartz. He's the senior leader there.
Probably Donovan Davis, I would think.
Probably Donovan Davis, their standout sophomore. And they have some other really outstanding players, Brett. So Freedom Boys basketball. Only online high school sports talk show in the state, 7 o'clock start there. So on postcrescent.com. You can watch it on the YouTube channel, Brett, for USA Today Network Wisconsin. Check it out there as well.
And then we're back at it again Saturday afternoon, another Varsity Game of the Week live stream sponsored by Cellcom. As these top-ranked Kimberly girls host third-ranked Pewaukee, that is going to be the game of the day in the state of Wisconsin. Live coverage from Kimberly High School for us will tip off at 3:15 p.m. And don't forget, you can always access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. Looking forward to that one. Hey, we have a halftime score on the boys' side. Fond du Lac 28, Neenah 21. How about the Cardinals on the boys' side, huh?
Again, that's that crazy Fox Valley Association, Brett.
Not sure who.
Don't know on any given night.
Speaking of the FVA and the girls' side games tonight, Oshkosh West at Westosha Central non-conference game. Neenah at Fond du Lac on the girls, Appleton East at Kaukauna, Appleton North at Appleton West. So that's your FVA slate. And Jerry's letting us know, our friend Jerry, that the Kaukauna boys are destroying the Appleton East boys, as he puts it on our YouTube chat. But yeah, now with our Packers show done for the season, Clubhouse Live, got a little bit more room to do a couple games during these final weeks of the season, the next month plus. That's going to be fun. Thanks to everybody if you did check out Clubhouse Live. We had a fantastic season, outstanding online numbers, video numbers, in-house audience, so we appreciate that. We'll get busy at some point soon, getting ready for Season 17. Takes place at the Fox Club inside Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, Wisconsin, home of the Wisconsin Timber Rallies, also the home to Clubhouse Live. And it gives me a good reminder for Ricardo here, everybody. 10 o'clock on Thursday, we're going to be at the stadium getting our gear and bringing it back to the office.
Good thing you reminded me.
We'll make you carry all the heavy stuff, but I got a creaky back, remember?
No, I'll try. I mean, I remember last year carrying some of the TVs. I just hope I don't slip and drop those things, because we need those TVs.
Yeah, we do. Well, there's more to grab from the office, right?
Yeah.
But my creaky lower back, I got to be very careful.
10 a.m. on Thursday. Good thing you reminded me.
So if anybody want to see Ricardo in the flesh,
want to see an old man hurting himself, then stop by Fox City Stadium.
Hortonville opens the second half with the ball. See if they can whittle away at that deficit here.
Wilson's asking for the ball, but there's a three-point
They'll
basket.
take that.
They certainly will. That's Clausen.
Paige Clausen, yeah. Good start for the Polar Bears. A triple by Clausen.
Krieger. Off.
12 points now for Krieger. Boy, somehow, how do you deny that entry pass, right? Seems like once she gets in the paint on the block, it's game over. Martin again. Van Vonderen with the board, bringing it up the floor fast. Ooh, McGinnis with a deep three. Here comes Wilson. 3-on-1. No, she's going to step back, let it fly. Short.
Nice rebound there, Brett. That was Clausen. Draws the foul. Wilson will inbound for Hortonville.
Oh, it's good hands. That was Kennedy Eben, Ricardo with the steal. Looked like they're setting something up on the baseline for Wilson, and Eben, those quick hands, knocked it away. Krieger again just going to work. Spin move, wow. It was there. What a quick little spin to get herself free to the glass. Just couldn't convert.
Oh, in and out. For Hortonville, but they get the rebound back, Brett. That's
Hurley,
Hurley.
number 10.
Oh, just a little too far over for Clausen and Wilson trying to connect there. 2 turnovers I have for the Polar Bears, Brett, to start.
Looking at, we said Kate McGinnis. What are we going to get here? A timeout? Is somebody hurt? Or is it just a 30-second timeout for the Papermakers?
Okay. 32-20 lead for Kimberly. 16:01 left in the second period.
I was going to mention, guys, that, Kate McGinnis for the Papermakers. She's going to Belmont, right? But we mentioned Krieger going to Minnesota Duluth. Then you look at sophomore Ava Van Vonderen. She already has D1 offers. Butler, DePaul, UW Green Bay, Marquette, UW Milwaukee, and Wisconsin. And then fellow sophomore Haley Doulis, D1 offers from DePaul, UW Green Bay, Marquette, and UW Milwaukee. And then Dave Lepisto told us earlier in the season, Emily Urban, Claudia Asman, Bentley Drought, Kennedy Eben, they've all received various interests from D1 and D2 schools as well. I mean, that is just crazy to have that much as far as next level talent, right, on the floor.
And some of them D1 from other sports.
Yeah. Krieger working on that double-triple team. Wow, how she finds her way out of that mess, but now McGinnis with it. Nice little crossover. Good find. Blocked. And we're going to get a jump ball. Ooh.
As that Van Vonderen hits the deck.
I think Paige Clausen, though, Ricardo, number 22 with the block. And they're going to call a jump ball.
I think it's going to stay with Kimberly. But, yeah, that was Julian Martin and Van Vonderen battling for that ball. Oh, nice play by Wilson, forcing that turnover.
And Martin needs some help. She gets it out. Oh, tough take. Springer flying to the rim.
Those are the kind of possessions that Hortonville needs, Brett. Converting a turnover into an easy bucket.
10-point game.
Oh,
good
nice
find, but good defense, and somehow gets it to drop. Is Eben, her first bucket of the night. High off the glass. Near steal. Kind of a frantic pace tonight.
A little bit.
Wilson with 4 points so far. Coming off a 43 and a 31 back-to-back showings. And just an unforced error right there, Ricardo.
Well, 43, 43, and 31, right? I think she had 43 earlier against West. So you got to give a lot of credit to Kimberly's defense, Brett. I mean, again, we talked about Kennedy Eben and the way she plays that defense. And what do we have here? A foul on the floor.
I think that's going to be on Wilson.
Number 4, Rainey Wilson, first personal, first team.
Let it fly from the corner. Good look for Urban. Martin with the board, and here comes Wilson now. Flying down the floor. Oh, I thought she was going to let it go.
Yeah, well, again, Kennedy Eben had a really nice recovery there, Brett, defensively.
Eben is shadowing Wilson about as close as you can right now. And right now, a defensive net. Deep three from the wing. That was a good look for Hurley. Just couldn't get it to fall, and Papermakers with it. 12-point lead as we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. You can see a lot of TV cameras here, Ricardo. Big game. And there's Krieger with the miss. Don't see that too often when she gets that deep inside in the paint. Wilson, though, offensive rebound and a quick putback for the Maryland recruit.
Here's Krieger.
Oh, knocked away.
Yep, that's Clausen.
That is. Or Springer, number 11.
Springer, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, inside. Martin, little shot faking. Good. And a little bit of a run here for the Polar Bears.
It's a smart timeout. Kimberly got to stop this surge right now by the Polar Bears. I almost call them the Polar Makers.
Well, it works, huh?
The Polar Makers, not to be confused with the Rocket Bears.
We mentioned Carden Pepler out with that walking boot, but she's got D1 offers from Butler, Eastern Illinois, UW Green Bay, Marquette, UW Milwaukee. Of course, her sisters, right, Cammie and Callie, former Hortonville standouts, and they're playing together collegiately for your Panthers at UW Milwaukee.
That's
Ricardo.
right.
Yeah, and you look at Rainey Wilson so far. 3 games this season with at least 20 points, 6 games with at least 30 points, and 2 games with at least 40 points. She had back-to-back 43-point outings against Oshkosh West on January 17th, then Appleton North on Friday, and then, of course, that 31-point game against Homestead. She has a string of 4 straight games with at least 25 points. She's shooting collectively in that stretch 62%, 90% from the line, 36 of 40 from the stripe. And she's also 12 of 24, 50% from three-point range. So she's got 6. And at some point, somehow, her team's going to have to find her the way. They're going to have to get her open so
Nice
she can get her
pressure
looks.
here
But
by
yeah,
Hortonville.
great defense. Kimberly somehow, well, they want to carry the Hortonville fans and AC Clothier, the head coach. Instead, it's going to be Duelist with the reverse, no good. Rebound, and the Polar Bears have it.
There you see some defense sparking the Polar
Boy,
Bears.
intense, Ricardo, really ratcheting it up.
They're going to make a run. There's plenty of time here, Brett.
3 from the corner. Ooh, I thought that was going to go down. That was Hurley with the miss.
What do they call jump ball?
What are they going to have, jump or a foul?
On Krieger.
It is.
They are, okay.
Is that her? That's her second.
Krieger's shocked. She's like,
And you can see Dave Lepisto, the Kimberly coach. He's not too happy right now.
neither is Krieger. But possession stays with Hortonville. Wilson directing.
Oh, Martin, good inbounds play, and Martin wide open from the wing. Her third three-point bucket of the night, Ricardo. She's got 13, and look at this. It's a 5-point game. Wilson picks up her second, Ricardo.
If you're Kimberly, this is a little disconcerting here, but they're checking in a few reserves here. Now, I noticed Evans going to the bench, Brett, and she's kind of had Wilson's number on the defensive end, so we'll see if that frees Rainey up a little bit.
Yeah, and Krieger takes a seat as well, but Evan, you got to give her a breather, right? You can't play that type of defense all game long. Got to give her a quick little rest.
Wilson.
And Wilson reads it. Wilson up, left hand. Hortonville fans want a foul. She gets the steal in the bucket. She's got 8, and look at this. It's all of a sudden a 3-point game. Boy, really having a hard time against that pressure is Kimberly, but now a chance to maybe take a deep breath, reset, run some offense. Dula's going to try to back in, and can't get it. She gets her own miss. That's a big rebound, Ricardo.
I think that's Van Vonderen.
Wasn't that 33?
34.
Well, that's 34. I'm sorry. Yep, Van Vonderen, my mistake. 3-pointer for Martin, who's feeling it.
Brett, it's easy to remember Van Vonderen. She's got the shoes.
There you go. But how about let's start remembering Julian Martin now having a big night. And McGinnis with a cold-blooded 3. There's an answer.
There you go. The big-time players coming through for both teams.
I've got her for 3 3-pointers, 9 points now for McGinnis. Looking at Martin right now, she's got 16, 8 this half. Another one. Red hot are the Polar Bears. Springer with a triple.
And here you're seeing it's everyone but Wilson, Brett. So you're seeing the rest of the team really lifting up the Polar Bears.
You'd think that might open up some looks for Wilson down the stretch. We'll see. Here comes Van Vonderen, going to take it. Tough shot, and she's fouled.
Van Vonderen, that's tough watching her go in the paint. She's so lengthy. Draws the foul. 10:23 left. 2-point deficit for Hortonville, but Van Vonderen's going to try to add to that lead. Brett, a little surprised at this is how Hortonville has rallied back, making this a much closer game than their first matchup. David at 41. I had it at 40.
I have it at 40 now. I have it at 41, right?
Yeah, the score's off a little bit. There we go. Now I think they're getting it right. Well, they have them at, it should be 41 to 37, Brett, because she converted both her free throws.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Now they got it. They got it correct there.
Brett, we're such nerds.
Well, you know, when we're a 3-man crew and we're doing a whole bunch of multitasking, it's nice to look up to the scoreboard and it matches mine, and then I get a little panicked when it doesn't.
Kennedy Evans back in the game, Brett, now. 3-point lead.
Oh, knocked away. Dulis got it. She does.
She did.
Dulis going to go up against Martin. Tough leaner. She's fouled.
Yeah.
They're going to call a block on Martin.
Yeah, and Martin kept moving. Tough foul, but that sends Dulis to the line. How many fouls is that now for Martin? That's her
Martin,
second.
I have over 2. Dulis with 3, now make it 4.
Number 22, Paige Clausen for the Polar Bears.
Boy, some hot shooting. 1, 2, 3, 4 threes this half for the Polar Bears. 7 on the night as Dulis makes the pair.
Folks, pay attention. This is where those free throws come up big. Brett, when you're making your free throws, it really is tough for a team to rally when you're converting all of your bonus shots.
Yeah, Kimberly has outscored, coming into tonight, they've outscored their opponents 165 to 76 from the line. Always getting to the line. That's quite a substantial difference. In fact, they had made more free throws, 165, than their opponents had attempted, 127, according to at least what the stats I saw with sports.net. So making a living at the free throw line, it's one thing to get there, right? But then they're knocking them down on top of that.
So unforced errors, Brett, on both sides of the court here, with Hortonville turning it over to Kimberly. Kimberly doing the same right back. Again, Rainey Wilson with only 8 points, Brett. Wonder if she's going to come alive here with the last 9 minutes.
And guess who's back defending her, right? Ooh, little back cut
nice.
there, and double team, loose ball. Somehow the Polar Bears come up with it. Wilson, she's going to take it up, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line.
I like her aggressiveness there, Brett.
Yeah.
Create for yourself. Go to the line, get a couple throws. I think, what is she shooting for free throws, I wonder? Probably a high percentage.
Yeah, it is. I'll take a look. This
Hold on, I can get it right here.
Actually, the first, Ricardo, first trip to the line for the Polar Bears tonight, right here.
Oh, wow.
And Wilson short on the
boy.
end
Brett, she's shooting 86%.
Yeah. She's got a great career percentage. That's roughly her career percentage as well. Look that up, but I've got her career stats. In the game notes, Wilson, she'll make the second. 9 points now for Rainey. 5-point game as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Top-ranked paper makers trying to create a little breathing room atop the FVA. Hortonville right now in the zone as well, Ricardo. Oh, good move inside. Nice. Great feed from Urban to McGinnis. And McGinnis moving well without the basketball, right? Good zone offense there to find the soft spot along that baseline. A great pass from Urban.
Julian Martin thought about taking that three for a second there, Brett.
Just watch that matchup between Eben and Wilson right now. I mean, both players working hard. Wilson trying to get open. Eben.
Oh, nice play.
Won't let her. Yeah, here comes Van Vonderen. Left-hand scoop. Misses, and rebound, though. She gets her own miss. And that's in for Van Vonderen. What else do we have here? They're counting the basket, I believe, right? They haven't changed it yet on the scoreboard. Let's see what the officials' basket counts. And a foul on the Polar Bears on top of that. Oh, okay. They called white. I heard the official yell white. So instead it's actually going to be on Kimberly on Urban. But that basket should have counted, shouldn't it?
I thought so.
Yeah, it should be 47-38.
Unless they called that foul on the floor, so then it wouldn't count, Brett.
I thought he gave the okay. I guess the basket did not count. No, he did. They changed the scoreboard.
Okay. Boy, it's getting really intense here now.
It is. It really is. Yep. You can hear fans really starting to chirp both sides, and two rivals going at it.
Hortonville needs to stem the tide here. They're down by 9. You don't want to get it towards a 4 or 5 possession game here.
Wilson, no hesitation. Thought that was going to fall. That looked good from our angle. And
one of the few
Krieger
threes
with the rebound.
she's had attempts.
Yeah, they're not giving her any sort of space whatsoever. Look at that. Again, nice job. That was number 12 for the Polar Bears, Mallory Werner. That was looked like it was going to be an over-the-top entry pass to the post. But Werner read it, knocked it away.
McGinnis.
Oh, Wilson knocked it away. And a foul on top of that. That's going to be on Krieger.
Yeah.
Her third.
Kimberly foul on number 44. Reagan Krieger, third personal. 15.
Green Bay Peyton on our chat, Ricardo, says shout out to Trace Anderson, assistant coach for Kimberly. He went to college with him, and he does an excellent job with his team. There you go.
All right.
Oh, look at that move by McGinnis. How about that? Wow. Smooth down the floor. I think they call that having some good handles, Ricardo. Did you see the little fancy dribbling by McGinnis? Didn't miss a stride. A little crossover. And now an 11-point lead again for Kimberly.
Yeah, 1 point, Brett. It got down to 36-34 or 39-37.
Talk about Kimberly's rebounding again coming into tonight. 459 to 271 in rebounding advantage. Van Vonderen going to let it fly. Good. Wow. Just like that. Just like that.
Back to 14.
12 points for Van Vonderen, 9 this half. Yeah, and that's right. What was it down to a 3-point game?
2-point game.
2-point game. Wilson with the miss. Duelis with the board.
I think Hortonville's playing pretty well on defense as
I
well,
do
Brett.
too.
It's just that, it's so hard to contain Kimberly.
Different players, right? To just
wave and wave
right.
and wave of red.
Polar Bear foul on number 24. Morgan McConville.
Okay, they're taking out some of the bigs here, or moving people around as Krieger sits, Bentley Drought in.
Number 22, Paige Clausen. And for the Polar Bears.
both teams with great non-conference schedules as well. You can see Coach Lepisto, hands to his face. He was lamenting that turnover, left-handed layup for Wilson off the turnover. So defense creating offense for the Polar Bears. 12-point game. Hortonville have another run in it with 5 minutes to play.
If they do, they have to do it now, Brett. See if their defense can come through with another takeaway. Oh,
there it is, right there.
Oh, maybe
somehow
not.
Van Vonderen gets it, and
it.
we're going to get a timeout, 30-second timeout, yeah.
Big timeout.
Yeah, look at Kimberly. They've already beaten number 6 Brookfield East and 9th-ranked De Pere. Papermakers will play 3rd-ranked Pewaukee on Saturday afternoon, a game we're going to stream. Kimberly hosting that matchup. And also on the schedule for the Papermakers is a February 10th home matchup against West De Pere. Phantoms are ranked number 8 in Division II. And then you look at Hortonville. Polar Bears have already played 3rd-ranked Pewaukee. They fell to the Pirates 78-39. That was back on the November 29th season opener at Pewaukee. Of course, Pewaukee playing up this year, Ricardo, right? Defending
and
D2
not only
state
that,
champs.
Pewaukee has lost one of their top players. Is it Krochinski or something, I thought?
Jankowski.
It was someone who was lost for the year, one of their key players.
Hortonville also beat perennial state power Notre Dame, and they beat West De Pere. Polar Bears just fell to 8th-ranked Homestead Saturday in a tight contest we talked about. Then Hortonville's going to host Providence Academy on February 21st.
Boy, again, Brett, Hortonville gets the turnover or takeaway, then they turn it right back.
Yeah, Kimberly just doesn't stop, and they're going to get a foul on Wilson for 3rd. And the 6th. But Providence Academy, Ricardo, they the Lions, that's a Minnesota team based in Plymouth, Minnesota, and the Lions currently undefeated and ranked number 1 in Minnesota's Class 2A. So some great.
Who's played them?
Hortonville's going to play them right
nice.
here. Yeah, so great non-conference slate for both teams. And how about McGinnis having a big game?
She's so smooth.
Yeah, she is. 15 points. She just doesn't. She doesn't force shots, right? She just takes them as she gets them. 9 points this half. 15 for the game.
I think both teams are. Both teams a foul away from the bonus, Brett.
Remember when we had the Kimberly girls on varsity roundtable last Wednesday, tried to bring up the fact that McGinnis scored her 1,000th point earlier this season, and she was just kind of like, yeah, She didn't want to talk about it.
No.
Just shrugged her shoulders, acted like it was no big deal, and very humble. And Rainey the same way when you talked to her at halftime for her 2,000th point last Friday. Very humble as well. Good kids on top of being sensational talents on the floor. All these kids are good. Good kids.
Oh,
How about
nice
that
move.
move? Wow. That little crossover right there for Springer.
Like it. You know, where she attacked the defense when there was just a little bit of a lull. Oh, again, unforced error there. 7th turnover I have for Kimberly.
You look at this Kimberly offense, though, with so many different players that can do different things, but it all runs really through Reagan Krieger, right? You get her established, get that ball running through the post, and she's doing what she typically does. Boy, it opens up so much. Just kind of watch how they play offensively. That ball is usually touching the block, and Reagan Krieger, and such a willing passer as well as a sensational scorer and rebounder.
Look at that.
Great move again. Just couldn't get it to fall there. Springer, she's got 9 points, 7 this half.
Yeah, got to finish.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the great spirited battle between these two rivals, two of the top teams in the state. Kimberly trying to remain undefeated, ranked number 1. And if you're the paper makers, down to about 2.5 to play, there's really no rush, right? Up 12. Try to run some clock here. Put this one away.
Oh, there's a foul.
That'll be the 7th foul. So bonus free throws coming up for the paper makers. Looks like Kennedy Eben going to the stripe. Not too many free throws tonight. I got 4 of 4 for Kimberly and 1 of 2 for Hortonville so far.
Okay.
Clean game. And Eben misses the front end.
Oh, yeah, well, they called that on Hortonville, and it stays with Kimberly. I thought that was Hortonville ball. It's like right here, Brett, where you see some of that superior length for Kimberly.
Well, that's the thing, too, Ricardo, that length, their size, ability to kind of throw over the defense when they are trapped or in trouble.
Just, increases your percentage points of securing the inbound and other passes out of the reach of defenders' hands.
So Urban at the line, front end of the 1-and-1, and
right there, you saw it
Krieger,
again.
though, still working
Krieger.
hard. Another rebound, and she's fouled. This will be a 2-shot foul. Wow.
It's not often when I'm right, Brett, but you saw it right there on those 2 rebounds. As Krieger's just has a little more length than the other Hortonville girls down low.
Boy. Well, she gets a couple more rebounds on the stat sheet, doesn't she?
Yes.
And Krieger, her first trip to the line, she's got 12, make it 13 now.
Brett, she didn't make our varsity roundtable. She was a little under the weather.
She contributed to the chat, though, the live chat. We're looking forward to the Freedom Boys coming on. They're having a heck of a season. Irish leading the Northeastern Conference. Little Shoe right behind with that 1-loss to Freedom game we streamed earlier in January. Maybe we should try to get the recap. The nightcap, I should say, the second game. And that's
She's
a 2-shot foul, yeah.
Kimberly foul number 3, Emily Urban. 3rd personal, 7th team. Rainey Wilson at the line.
11 points for Wilson tonight. Kimberly doing everything it can to keep the ball really out of her hands.
Superb defensive effort from Eben. And then obviously she gets help defense as she tries to, shoot from the 3-point line or go inside. So,
or if Wilson got it, try to get it out of her hands fast. And that's a good job by Evan just to kindly reset the offense and run some clock with 1:30 to play.
Yeah, it's a 10-point lead here for the Papermaker. Just want to kill off as much clock as you can. And that foul is on number 10, Hurley.
That's the 10th team foul, so double bonus coming now as well. Yeah, 12-point lead for the Papermakers, 56-44, and Ava Van Vonderen toeing the line, shooting a couple free throws. She's now 2 of 3. 12 points for Van Vonderen here tonight. And boy, but McGinnis, though, just chasing down that loose ball.
Seems to sense some of the frustration here from the
Yeah.
Hortonville fan spread. Yeah, that's tough, you know. Mallory Werner on that foul. Brett, I'm guessing she's the younger sister of the Michaela Werner, and I want to say there was another Werner too.
Number 3, Emily Odin at the line.
Familiar name here in Hortonville. Outstanding athletes.
Whoa. And a timeout for AC Clothier. Full timeout for the Polar Bears. AC, we've known for a while as well, haven't we?
Yes.
Familiar face.
Took Xavier girls to the state tournament a couple times.
Yeah, he's done a great job here. Again, following in a line of really good coaches, and this program hasn't skipped a beat as well. But Clothier coached at Xavier High School, then jumped up to the college ranks for a while. He was a women's basketball assistant at the University of St. Thomas and then Concordia University down in Mequon. I remember covering AC when he was a standout athlete at Xavier. He led the Hawks to back-to-back state tournament appearances in 2016 and 17. The Hawks reached the D3 state championship game in 15, where they fell to Whitewater. I've got here in the notes 49-43. Also led Hortonville to a state tournament in 2023, 2 years ago. Remember, he lost to Kettle Moraine, the eventual state champs in the semifinals. But great job, AC. One of those guys with college experience.
Was that the year that Hortonville and Appleton East made it?
Yeah.
I think so, because East fell then.
Hey, Ricardo, let's talk about this sectional real quick. Look at this sectional that Kimberly's in. It includes 3rd-ranked Pewaukee, 4th-ranked Hartford, 6th-ranked Brookfield East, 8th-ranked Homestead, 9th-ranked De Pere, and a Notre Dame team that, of course, we know well and good about. That is a grueling...
Stacked. That's something we talked about with the coaching staff at Kimberly.
I mean, you get through that, you've accomplished something. Whoever survives that sectional. As Doulis with a free throw. You look at Hortonville, really, Nina's in that sectional. And another rebound, Ricardo.
I want to see that's 10 for Krieger now.
Trying to see, like, Appleton East is in that one. They're dangerous. The Hortonville sectional final is going to be at Marshfield.
Memorial has 14 wins, but I don't know about their league so much. If it's a good league this year.
Yeah, that is a lot of state-ranked teams in the Hartford sectional, I guess you would call it. That's right now tentatively. Could be if it's an area right here, right? So they might switch it to a nearby school.
Oh, no.
Geez.
Oh,
no. Okay. Oh, boy, I hope she's all right.
This place got extremely quiet. 57.3 seconds left, and she took a tough.
Yeah, I think she's
Wilson did.
Going back to the locker room, but boy, I hope Rainey is all right. They're going to wipe the floor here. Looks like Coach Clothier wants a full timeout. They find some little moisture on the floor. Looks like it is going to be a timeout.
That's tough, Brett. That did not look good.
Couldn't tell if it was an ankle or. But yeah, this place got super quiet with Wilson going down. She got up, walked off quickly though. Limped off. And let's hope she's all right. Got a final on the boys' side. Fond du Lac beats Neenah 57-48. Boy, how about those Cardinals on the boys' side? Luke Young at 25 points. Roan Caper 10 for the Rockets. They had their 4-game winning streak snapped. And another tough one for Neenah coming up Friday night at Kaukauna. Life in the FEA.
$60-46, or Kimberly, I should say, with the lead. But right now, everybody's concern is with Rainey Wilson, Brett. I think a lot of the Hortonville fans here are notably concerned. Some of the Kimberly ones, too.
Well, you have to be, right? I mean, she's an outstanding player first and foremost, but even beyond that, just a great kid. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially with under a minute to play. It looked like she just kind of, you know, the official was wiping that part of the floor, so with some moisture. And that is number 24, Morgan McCodlow. And a quick timeout. I believe that's the Hortonville's final timeout. McCodlow, a 5'5" freshman guard. I'm assuming the sister of Trinity McCodlow, right?
Oh, yeah.
This former standout here. I believe she's in her second season down in Florida at Lynn University.
Oh, yeah.
A varsity roundtable alum.
I see Rainey's out here again, Brett.
Okay. That's good to see.
Got it on her there,
back.
Rosie.
Wonder if she just an ankle. Don't know. Not going to speculate, but great to see that she's back out. Trying to walk that off a little bit.
You'd think it probably was an ankle, Brett, because if it was something to do with the knee or the structure of the knee, she wouldn't be out there walking around, I'm guessing.
I'd be surprised, yeah.
But I cannot speculate.
Well, I know you're going to go down there, right, to maybe check things out after the game.
Yeah, I was going to get the box score. We'll see if I can see if there's anything there. I was going to wait to talk to Kimberly, though, after their game against Pewaukee on Saturday, though, Brett.
Yeah. And Kate McGinnis, her first free throw. 16 points for Kate, 10 this half. Mentioned her mother, former Miss Basketball, Lori Gorlitz at the time. Am I saying that right? Gorlitz?
Gorlitz.
Of course, her father, Ryan, the athletic director and head baseball coach at Kimberly.
He knows a lot about success, too.
Oh, no kidding. Kimberly going to remain undefeated. And set up another big matchup on Saturday against third-ranked Pewaukee. A game, again, we will stream. We will be there for that. Looking forward to it. We can attach it, link it to our friends down at the Journal-Sentinel as well.
Yeah, we might want to let the Pewaukee School District know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always let the athletic
you're
directors know. Yep.
You're on top of it. I should have known better.
No, it's okay. I just roll my eyes. You go tell me what to do. It's fine.
Not tell you, more suggest. Maybe even in the realm of nagging.
McCodlow up, no good. And Krieger with the rebound. Let's see if they just kind of want to.
Well,
hold off here a little bit.
Foul still.
Yeah, I think now you just sort of ease up here, let the clock run out. No, they're going to one more foul here before we close this out.
Calling for foul on number 21, Captain Pomeranian. First personal. Kate McGinnis at the line.
McGinnis 3 of 4 from the stripe. Make it 4 of 5. Five of 6. And that is how this game comes to a close. We look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Top-ranked Kimberly with the victory, 65-48.
Yeah, I'm updating my Twitter. You can follow me at Ricardo Delian, D-E-L-I-A-N. Brett at PC, Brett C. Rosie at Metal Rosie.
We'll get Ricardo's thoughts here in a moment. I'll add up what I have in the book as well.
Thank you for your cooperation. Fans, join us right here at the Fieldhouse for our next home game next Tuesday. As your Polar Bear boys take on the Kakana Galloping Ghosts. Game time, approximately 7:15 p.m. Thank you for coming.
All right, Brett, if I can.
Yeah, share your thoughts.
First off,
go ahead.
with Hortonville, let's just hope that everything's fine with Rainey Wilson, because they got a real shot at making it to state. I see Wilson right now walking a little gingerly, Brett, but she doesn't need any assistance or anything like that off the court, because this is a team. When you get Cardin Pepler back, provided that Wilson is fine, they have a real shot at making it to state, Brett. You mentioned the sectional that they play in. The matchups are favorable to them in that sectional. And for Kimberly, yes, they play in that very difficult sectional, Brett, but I feel very good about the depth, the talent that they have. They might not have a player on the level of Rainey Wilson in terms of scoring the ball, but they have legit 6 or 7 girls that you have to be wary of, right? That can score at any time in a number of different ways. They have length, they have speed, their defense, they have length, everything. To me, that roster, everything is there, along with the great coaching. We respect, both coaches really. We respect the coaching there of Lepisto, and I can't stress how good this Kimberly team is. We expect them to make it to Ashwaubenon. I know I do.
Unselfish team as well,
Unselfish,
right?
yes.
They're just all willing passers, scorers. Again, as I said earlier, they don't care who's scoring the buckets, and it's pretty tough when you have that kind of a combination to knock this team out, and that's why right now, what are they, 15-0 is what the Papermakers are now? Yeah, so 15-0, 12-0 in the FVA. And now a bit of a lead, a little bit of some breathing room, because that is Hortonville's second conference loss as well, so a 2-game lead for Kimberly now in that race to win the Fox Valley Association Championship, and then presumably we'll see how things go here in February, but to get a top seed in a very brutal sectional. But yeah, let's hope Rainey's okay. Glad that she's walking around a little bit, and I agree. I think Hortonville, you get them at full strength, they're going to be a tough out, especially being battle-tested not only with that non-conference schedule, but then, of course, playing in this great league, the Fox Valley Association.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get down there and get that box score, and
yes,
we'll
sir.
see you back Saturday, huh?
You got it, Saturday afternoon.
Gentlemen.
All right, thanks, Ricardo. Let me run down the scoring for Hortonville. Wilson finishes with 15, Hurley with 3, Springer with 9, Martin with 16, Clausen with 3, McCodlow with 2. For the Papermakers, Urban with 8, McGinnis leads all scorers with 20, and that included 14 in the second half. Eben with 2, Asman with 3, Doulis with 6, Van Vonderen 12, and Krieger with 14. With the victory, the top-ranked Papermakers remain undefeated. Kimberly now 15-0 on the season, 12-0 in the Fox Valley Association. Up next for Kimberly, they're at Appleton West on Friday. An FVA matchup. Tip-off is scheduled for 6 p.m. Of course, that precedes the big game on Saturday against Pewaukee. Fifth-ranked Hortonville falls to 12-4 overall, 10-2 in league play. Up next for the Polar Bears, they're at Fond du Lac. That also is a Friday night game. Fox Valley Association matchup. Tip-off is scheduled for 6 p.m. As for us, as we've been talking about throughout the evening, stream team heading over to Kimberly High School Saturday afternoon as top-ranked Kimberly hosts third-ranked Pewaukee in a non-conference girls basketball showdown. That will be the game of the day in the state, no doubt. Live coverage from Jack Whippet Court will tip off at 3:15 p.m. And again, don't forget, you can always access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Samsung Galaxy S25 series is AI evolved and life simplified at Cellcom. New lines get Samsung Galaxy S25 on them. Visit cellcom.com for details. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. So for Ricardo, for Rosie, and the entire crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, this is Brett Christopherson signing off. From Hortonville High School, our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream sees the top-ranked Papermakers take down the 5th-ranked Polar Bears 65-48. Thanks for watching, everybody.